Hello everyone, my name is Grace Steffensmeyer and I have had the privilege of giving this wonderful speech about Strawberry Hill Elementary School. Like many of you, Strawberry Hill was where it all began. We didn't know it at the time, but we were making memories that would last a lifetime. Memories that would shape us into who we are today. Life isn't that easy anymore. Now my experience was a little different because of Carson and Christian. Everything that got sent home with us, there was 3 of. There was 3 school supply lists we had to go through every year, and we were always being grouped together as one. If you can believe it, we were referred to as the little kids in our family until we got to high school. I'm sure all of you remember the constant competition between the Cornerstone kids and the regulars. Well, that's what Carson called us anyways. Every time one of the Cornerstone kids would knock down our snowman during recess or do something extra fun that we didn't get to do, I heard about it firsthand. Carson was in Cornerstone, and me and Christian were the regulars. Carson bragged to me every single time they got cake, or when my mom would go to the school to help out with one of their many fun activities. Back then it was easier because the 3 of us were separated. My mom did this on purpose, so we were never in the same class, and for that I am grateful. Now, when we walk through the halls of Strawberry Hill, the ceilings seem shorter, everything around us looks smaller. Unfortunately, we won't be able to walk through the halls in our caps and gowns to reminisce our time there. I'm so thankful for all of the teachers and faculty at Strawberry Hill that gave me such a good head start in my education. I've had the opportunity of interning at the elementary school this year and last spring. I made great connections and I learned a lot about myself and what I want to do as a teacher. I am grateful that I got to start and end my education at Strawberry Hill Elementary School. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Conley, and my journey through school started at St. Pat's. I don't remember much about preschool, so I think where my memories really start are in kindergarten. Going to a Catholic school, we went to church with our class every single week. However, since we were very young, we were partnered up with the 5th and 6th graders so we would behave. Since my brother was in 5th grade, I would strategize where to stand in line because there was no way I was getting partnered with him. My memories then jumped to 2nd grade with Miss Jones. Miss Jones was an interesting teacher who really loved to sing, so much so that she would sing our spelling words to us. Although, looking back, it did make spelling tests a lot more fun. She also loved to perform, which led us to the 2nd grade play, The Man's Idea. I'm not sure I even remember what the play was about, but I do remember that Jacob was the main character, and I played both his mother and his daughter. After 2nd grade, we lost a few of our already small class, and our classes seemed to dwindle until we came to 4th grade. There was only about 6 of us left, and that was the year of our lock-in. Our youth minister ran our lock-in, and she decided that it was a good idea for us to put sleeping bags over our head and run into walls. All I remember from that lock-in was that Jacob ran into a wall, Nick peed his pants, and somehow we killed the preschool's pet fish. Then my memories jumped to 6th grade. 6th grade was the year of Mr. Duffy, and also the year where there were only 4 of us left. Mr. Duffy was the last principal we would have in that school, and honestly the most fun. He would give us tours of the Anamosa as we went to the middle school for band and choir, except he didn't grow up in Anamosa, so his tour sounded something like, "Oh, this is Old Dubuque Road, home of Mr. Old Dubuque himself, who was some sort of gold miner." 6th grade was fun, but 7th grade was when we joined our old class, and honestly, I'm proud of how we've grown together. And we made it to graduation, even though it isn't how we planned it. I'm happy that I made it here with all of you.
As many of you know, I, like a few other people from our class, have not been in Anamosa the entirety of the last 12 years. That is the whole reason I am giving this speech to you right now. I am supposed to talk to you about my elementary school, Olin Elementary. At first, I thought this speech would be super easy, but as I sat in my room trying to write it, I realized it truly isn't. As I was staring at my computer screen, I didn't know how I wanted to start, or where I wanted to go once I figured out the start. My impression of what this speech was supposed to be about was the school and a memory all who attended shared. I didn't want to go this direction because while at Olin, I was not actually in this class. Still, I sat wondering what I could make this speech about. The only ideas I had were the obvious ones, memories or the transition to Anamosa. I didn't really want to do either. Now, here I am, sitting here in my car, listening to this speech. It still doesn't feel like this is one of the last moments as a high school student. It is so strange to be in this moment. I feel this mainly because of how easily these last few years could have been extremely different. Right now, I could be a junior, sitting at home doing homework for a class that I was in, or I could be at my graduation of a class of maybe 9. The main reason I am sitting here, listening to myself speak with all of you, is Olin Elementary. In Olin, I was always at the top of my class. Some of my favorite teachers are those who were at Olin while I was there. There's one name that everyone who had her will always remember, Mrs. Armstrong. She expected a lot out of everybody and didn't accept anything less, even if it meant no recess, which at this age was practically life or death. Personally, she pushed me to do the best I could in everything, whether that be building a roller coaster out of paper tubes or taking a test. She was one of the teachers that realized I had the potential to advance a grade, but didn't know when would be the right time. That time was after 6th grade. Olin, being a school of maybe 100 students from pre-K to 6th grade, didn't feel as beneficial to have a middle or high school. They decided they were going to send the students to Anamosa. This meant we were going from a class of maybe 10 to a class of almost 100. We realized that this was the perfect opportunity to advance me a grade, and let me just say, that was one of the best decisions of my life. The people that I have met and been forced to be friends with will forever be friends. I am so grateful to Olin for guiding me to where I am now with all of you on our graduation day. Unfortunately, we have had a lot of things taken from us recently, and while that might not be very fair, I wouldn't take the opportunity to get all of those things back if it meant I couldn't be here with all of you today. I'm going to end this off with one final message. Always take the chance you are given as it comes to you, because it may end up being one of the best things you'll have ever done. Congratulations to all of you for making it through everything to be here today. Thank you, teachers and peers, for all the memories that I very easily could have not had. I wouldn't be standing here in this moment had it not been for all of you. So again, thank you. My final and biggest thank you goes out to Olin Elementary. I truly wouldn't be where I am today had I not attended this amazing school.
Hi, my name is Tim Schmedeke, and I am here to reflect on our middle school days. Middle school was a new and exciting time for all of us. We were the first 5th graders in the newly built middle school. We had moved on from having one teacher teaching us every subject to having a different teacher for almost every subject. In 6th grade, Ben Moss was sent to the office. He was messing around and threw a piece of paper at Mr. Bond's back. Mr. Bond was usually a fun and easygoing guy, but not this time. Ben was promptly sent to the office for his assault on Mr. Bond. In 7th grade, the boys' basketball team wasn't doing so well. A team, B team, and the C team hadn't won a single game all year. We were up against Monticello. It was the B team boys' time to shine. We got our first win of the season. I don't remember the exact score, but I'm sure it was a large margin of victory. 8th grade would be our last year in middle school. After this year, we would be in the big leagues, high school. We would be the first middle schoolers to have all of our 4 years at the new middle school. A memory I have from lunch that year was when my friends and I decided to move our lunch table into the hall. We would move it ever so slightly so that the teachers wouldn't notice. Eventually they did notice and made us move it back. Another memory I have from lunch that year was when Levi Brown tried to see how many cheesesteaks he could swallow in a minute. I believe he got only 2 or so down in 7 seconds, but before the full minute was up, a teacher sadly ended the challenge. Now I'd like to introduce Cody Edson to talk about our high school years.
My name is Cody Edson, and I'm here today to talk to you about the high school years of the graduating class of 2020. I'd like to start out by saying congratulations to the class of 2020. It's been a long journey, but we finally made it. It seems like just yesterday that we were all coming into the high school together for the very first time as incoming freshmen, getting lost day after day in what is basically one big square of a high school. But obviously we figured it out, because here we are today on our graduation day. Throughout high school, everybody discovers something about themselves, whether this be a unique set of skills that we possess, or just who we are as a person and how we want to live our lives. We discover these things through days, weeks, and years on our practice fields, in our classrooms, and working hard in whatever other extracurricular activities we are involved in. Throughout the traditions, sporting programs, music programs, and our theater programs, we also have a magnitude of friends and memories that will last most of us a lifetime. I'd like to thank the teachers, staff, coaches, and especially our parents for never giving up on us, even when we made it difficult. I'd like to close today by saying good luck to the graduating class of 2020. Wherever life may take you, I wish you the best. Thank you.